All right, today we're gonna play with something that I've been obsessed with lately, and that is EasyAR. If we jump into my analytics, you can see that the only video I've ever made that people actually watch was the one where we make an app in 6 minutes. Now, I'm no data scientist, but the only thing that I can reasonably conclude is that my other videos are too long. Ironically, all the comments on that video were that it was too fast. Welcome to my new series, Let's Make an App in 10 Minutes. Today we're gonna play with EasyAR because Vuforia sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. The image tracking, it's actually really good. But with EasyAR, the image tracking is almost just as good, and you can publish on the App Store totally for free. If you import the EasyAR SDK, there's a bunch of samples ready to go. If you want to track an image, just drag one into your streaming assets folder, change the name on the image target, and click play. Now, I posted a poll the other day, and you guys said you wanted to see loading image targets from a user's camera roll. So today we're going to make an app that allows a user to choose an image from their camera roll. That's what we're going to track. And then they can also choose a video from their camera roll, which is going to play on that tracker. Now, I know what you're thinking. Matt, we can't possibly do all that in 10 minutes. So go to easyar.com and log in. Create an account if you don't already have one. Click on SDK authorization and click to add a new license key. Check EasyAR SDK Basic and put in an app name and put in the same bundle ID for iOS and Android, com.yourname.yourappname, and click confirm. Go back to the home page and click the download section. Scroll down to the Unity part and download the Unity package. Drag that into Unity and import everything. Go back to your EasyAR account and copy your license key to your clipboard. Go to EasyAR, Common, Resources, and paste in your license key in the inspector. Go back to EasyAR and copy your bundle ID to your clipboard. Back in Unity, go to File, Build Settings, and switch your platform to Android or iOS. Close that and find the image target sample scene, and let's put that in our scenes folder. Delete the sample scene and rename the other one to main. Double-click that scene to open it and go back to Build Settings. Click Add Open Scenes. Open up Player Settings, and let's just make sure this is a development build in case we need to debug anything. In your Android player settings, remove the Vulkan graphics APIs and add OpenGL ES2. Paste in your bundle identifier. Now switch over to iOS and paste it in again. Let's check automatically sign and put something in for the camera usage description. Go back to resolution and presentation and let's lock it to portrait. I'll tell you why later. Go back to the hierarchy and right-click to create a UI canvas. This is going to be for our buttons. So change the canvas scaler to scale with screen size. Create an empty game object as a child of the canvas and call it button parent. Make it stretch to the full size of the screen. Create a UI button as a child of that and then go to Google and steal a camera icon PNG and a video icon PNG. Create a folder for your images and drag those two inside it. Highlight both of those and change the texture type to sprite, the size to 512, and apply those changes. Delete the button text and drag in the camera icon. Change the width and height to 200, anchor it to the left, and move it 200 units on the X. Rename that cam button and duplicate it. Name the new one video button, change its anchor to the right, and make the X position -200. Drag in that video icon. Now let's create a folder for scripts because we're going to animate this menu when you click the screen. Create a new script called menu behavior. First of all, create a vector3 called desired scale and set that to vector3.0. Inside an update function, we can interpolate the local scale to our desired scale. Here, we're also going to check for a screen touch. Now let's make a function called activate menu that takes a bool. When the screen is touched, we want to call that function and change that bool based on the value of desired scale. So inside activate menu, we can set desired scale to vector3.1 if it's active, or vector3.0 if it's false. Oh wait, sorry, that's supposed to be get mouse button up, or else our button presses won't work. Back in Unity, we can put that script on the button parent object. Now, if we press the screen, our menu opens and closes. Next, let's create a folder for prefabs and drag the image target in there. Delete the one in the scene and open up the prefab. This is what we're going to use to create trackers at runtime. So delete the cube and add a video player component to the quad. Uncheck play on awake, check loop, and change the source to URL because we're going to load videos from the camera roll from a file path. Now let's create a script called target behavior. This is going to go on our prefab and handle tracking loss and found events. First, create a public reference for our video player. Make sure to add a using directive for unityengine.video. And let's make a variable to hold the quad's mesh renderer and set it in the awake function. Now we can create a function for setting the file path to the video, and here we can prepare it so it's ready to play. Make an onTracking found function that starts a coroutine to play the video. Here we're going to disable the video's renderer until the video is playing so that we don't see any blank frames, and we get a smooth transition. Lastly, we can just make an onTracking lost function that pauses the video. Back in Unity, put that script on the image target and drag in the video player. Now create a script called Target Manager. This script is going to create an image target every time an image is chosen from the camera roll. So we'll need references to the image target prefab and EasyAR's tracker behavior. Now we can make a function for creating a new target from an image file path. It instantiates the prefab and sets up the tracker. Back in Unity, let's add that to the EasyAR setup and drag in references for the prefab and the tracker behavior. Now let's go to the asset store because we need a plugin to get files from the native gallery on Android and iOS. So find the native gallery asset and import that. Now create another script called Media Picker. This is going to use the native gallery plugin to get images and videos from your camera roll. So first we can make a function for getting the file path of an image from your gallery. This plugin is great because it handles the permissions for you. So here, if our app doesn't have file permissions yet from the user, the native gallery plugin will request them before continuing. We can now duplicate this function and just modify it a little bit to grab the videos from the gallery. We have to prepend the video file path with file:// so Unity's video player can find it. After that, we need a reference to the target behavior that has the video component. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to do find object of type, but that means this will not work for multiple image targets at the same time. If you want to take this further, you could keep track of all the targets in the scene and reference that one directly. Now add that script to the EasyAR setup and drag in the target manager. Now on each button, we can call the functions from the script we just created. So call choose image from the camera button and choose video from the video button. Now go back to our image target prefab, and the last thing we need to do is modify its behavior a little bit. So proper practice would probably be to extend this script, but let's just modify it a little for the sake of time. Let's add some events for onTracking found and onTracking lost, and make sure to add the using directive for Unity events at the top, and then create a reference to our target behavior script. Now down at the bottom, let's add a function for setting the state of children's renderers recursively. We're going to use this in the onTracking lost and found functions in lieu of what's there because currently all the children's game objects are getting turned on and off, which means scripts on those will not run unless you're tracking. In our case, we need the video player to prepare when it's not tracking. So we're going to make sure our Unity events are getting invoked in both cases. Up at the top, make sure the renderers get turned off at startup. Now let's go down to onTracking and remove this whole flipX thing because we're going to need to do our own transformations. This is why we locked the app to portrait earlier. So here we need to get the rotation of the native video, which native gallery has luckily exposed. So go back to target behavior and let's hack together some way to get the video rotation. We can get the video rotation from the file path of the video, but it can't have the file:// before it. So let's add that back in here after we get the rotation, but before we give the path to the video player. And then let's find the function that passes that URL in and remove it from there, passing in just the raw file path. So back in image target controller, we're now getting the rotation, which we can use to manipulate the rotation of the tracker. Again, this is probably not the best way to do this, but it works for now. So the rotations are different based on front and back camera, Android and iOS, portrait and landscape. It's pretty annoying. So this here only supports front and back camera portrait videos on iOS and Android. You guys can figure out the rest if you want. Now, all that's left is to drag in the references back in the inspector and add in the onTracking lost and found functions, and we're done. For Android, you should be able to plug in your phone and hit build and run. And for iOS, the only thing you have to do is set enable bitcode to no, and you should be good to go. Alright, today we're going to put a video on an image target. So that's all I got for today. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see in the next video. I'm thinking about doing something on loading asset bundles from a server, but I also have a project North Star that I haven't even played with yet. So let me know if you guys want to see something on that. For now, I've got to go channel my inner 3D artist and figure out how to rig this 3D scan. Goodbye.